Bob's Breakfast.
Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States.
You seriously think this is going to happen now?
There is proof. Lots of it. You just have to know where to look. The first place you look, Manchester, England.
Right.
The city of Manchester Stadium. Manchester City used to play at Main Road. And then in the early 2000s, they moved to the city of Manchester Stadium. So they asked the public to vote on what they should call different parts of the ground. So the public got to decide. And they said that they wanted one end of the ground to be named after the ex-Manchester City player, Colin Bell. Now, Colin Bell was a good player.
Yeah, I can see
you know where this is going.
Yeah.
But he was not an outstanding player by any means in the history of the club Manchester City, over 100 years old. He was a player who played for a few seasons in the 70s and was reasonably good. But because of that decision to let the public decide, the city of Manchester Stadium now has an area of the ground called the Bell End. Earlier this year, there was a public vote. The public got to decide, once again, what to name a polar research vessel.
Of course, yes.
The name that got the most votes? Boaty McBoatface. In June this year, the public got to decide whether Britain stayed in the European Union. More than half of the people voted to leave. Go and buy some euros at Luton Airport today. A euro will cost you more than £1. Our currency is in crisis. We live in a global economy. Now that our money isn't worth much, prices will go up. Which means your wages won't be worth as much. It means that unions will be demanding pay rises. We're heading for disaster, and it's almost 6 months before we even start to come out of the EU. But the public got to decide. The problem is, the public are idiots. And I don't know why they do this. I don't know whether it's because they feel like they have no power in their everyday life, or whether it's a form of self-harm. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. The people have voted for a bell end once. They'll do it again. The biggest lie you've ever been told. Ben.
I remember waiting for a bus, and I bumped into this very, very attractive girl, and I started talking to her. Yeah. And I talked to her for about 20 minutes, and she just moved into the area, and she got on the bus and she went, and the next few days I thought, gosh, she was very pretty. I didn't get her phone number, but I remember she told me where she lived.
Yeah.
The thing is, I couldn't remember her name.
Right.
And I knocked on the door and the parent answered. I remember it was a Friday night and they were in the middle of dinner and I explained and said, listen, I met your daughter at a bus stop and I thought she was very nice. I must have sounded like a complete lunatic.
Yes.
And the dad was like, oh, very well, we'll come in. And he invited me in and the family were having dinner around the table. It was like a scene from Godfather. and they said, listen, do you want some dinner? Sit down. Where do you go to school? And I was there for about 20 minutes and they're like, oh, Michelle's upstairs in the shower, she'll be down. And I thought, well, this is a very friendly family.
Yeah.
And after 20 minutes, I had some dinner, the girl comes down, and it's not even the right girl.
Now, is this girl as pretty as the other girl?
I don't think she was, incidentally.
Right,
okay. Free dinner.
Yes.
So, this girl had sent me to completely the wrong house.
Oh, she'd lied to you and
Yeah.
set you up with. Oh, do you reckon
No,
she?
I don't even think she knew who lived here.
Oh,
just
she
gave me some
panicked. She panicked and gave you any old address she could think of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have to feel sorry for the family who thought that they'd finally found someone for this girl.
No, the thing is, on my way out, though, the dad slipped me the phone number of the daughter. That was the ironic thing.
He slipped you a mobile number.
Yeah, he gave me her mobile number. So, a very nice young man, give her a call.
Oh, you made quite the impression.
Wow.
Did you ever follow that up, Ben?
I don't think I did, to be honest with you.
Bob's Breakfast.
The latest news now with Chris Hubbard.
There's a few people in the news today who could benefit from Phoneless Friday, which is taking place tomorrow. About 43 million of us use our phones every day. But Save the Children is challenging everyone to do that and go without their phones as part of their campaign to get people talking face-to-face tomorrow. But Norway's Prime Minister has been caught playing Pokemon Go in Parliament.
What?
The Prime Minister.
What?
It's not the first time a member of the government over there has been caught playing the game, but this time it was the head honcho, the Prime Minister herself. Erna Solberg was seen in a video playing the game during a debate. She's even taken time out recently in an official trip to Slovakia to play the game, telling reporters she needed to hatch some of the eggs in the game, which are part of Pokemon Go.
I thought Pokemon Go was last month's.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, what else is he doing on there? Is he checking out MySpace? Friends Reunited? Ask Jeeves?
Bob's Breakfast.
When have you had a neighbourhood dispute? Paul?
Morning, Graham. Yeah, I once came home from work and I had a quite hard day. My wife was a bit quiet at the time. I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "Oh, John next door, he's a neighbour. He used to talk with a bit of a plummy voice. Anyway, she's watering the garden. He went over and said, 'Do you realise you're getting my fence wet?' I said, 'What?' She said, 'You're getting my fence wet. Do you mind not watering your rockery?' And I came home from work and she was a bit quiet. She told me. I said, 'What?' I was going to go round and have a word. She said, Don't leave it. So I did. And about 3 months later, he's in his front garden by his car, and I went to my car the other side of the fence. I said, 'Morning, John. Morning.' I said, 'It's looking a bit cloudy now, isn't it?' He said, 'It is a little bit.' I said, 'Well, why don't you go and bring your fence in, because it might get wet.'
Neighbour, everybody needs good neighbour.
This is Bob.
You're lucky I'm here this morning.
Really?
I heard a thud coming from where the engine is in my car as I was driving in this morning. And a noise I'd not heard before.
Yeah.
So I slowed down, which is unusual for me. I wound down the window and I'm listening for this noise. Didn't make the noise again. I'm looking at all the gauges. I'm looking at the oil pressure and the oil temperature and the coolant level. There's no lights on or anything. So I get here and the security light comes on. I get out the car and I'm ready to have a look at the engine. And then I see it. A giant dollop of duty. Something hit my car while I was driving along. I mean, has science crossed an elephant with a seagull?
We've not still got that ostrich on the loose, have we?
Well, they don't
I don't
fly.
think so.
The thing is, you get hit by bird pup, usually after you've parked, because you park near a tree or near the top of a wall or a building where they take off, because they do like to poop as they take off. I don't even notice that.
Yeah.
But I was driving along. This is before 5 a.m. It's the middle of the night. It's pitch black. What giant bird is flying around at that time of the morning?
Oh my goodness. There's a golden eagle on the loose in Hertfordshire at the moment.
Oh, really?
There is, yes.
Well, maybe the golden eagle has given me the golden eagle present. Either that or I managed to drive through some portal and travel back in time about 160 million years and I've been done by a pterodactyl. and it's that big.
It's that size.
It's that size, yes.
It's not dented the bodywork.
It might have done. I haven't checked. It was a real thud. Bunk. Like, what the hell's that? It sounded like, that's the engine.
But Bird was probably quite relieved when that came out.
Sure it was. Reached a higher altitude immediately after loosening its load. Wow. So this morning I want to talk about animal defecation.
Oh, my life.
No, times when a bird has... I mean, if you get it serious enough, it can ruin paintwork.
Oh, it can, yeah. It can corrode it. can't
Yeah.
it?
Or when you've been on your way to something important and a bird has pooed on you. Maybe a bird has pooed on you didn't know. And you found out much later.
It's normally in the middle of your hair, isn't it? And somebody notices it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard bald people get it worse. I don't know if that's true. We should ask our sales manager, Kevin.
We should do, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know whether that's because they mistake it for some giant egg or something. I don't know. But I've heard that. Or other animal defecation stories, like if you got a pet, that does a whoopsie in the wrong place or at the wrong time.
Oh, do you remember that story with the robotic Hoover? And somebody had left their dog in their living room overnight.
Oh,
the
that's
dog
with
had
the
gone behind the
Roomba.
sofa.
Yes, had done a poo behind the sofa. And the Roomba, the robot vacuum cleaner, had spread it all over
That's
the
right.
carpet through the night.
Albeit in very neat lines.
Yes. Animal defecation stories. Denise.
We went to Stevenage, and it was when Paul Simon used to be in business, and we were looking for a small double bed, and we went upstairs, but we had our puppy Labradoodle with us,
Uh-huh.
and they let us in. They said, yeah, bring her in, she's beautiful, and they were making a really big fuss for her and everything, and when we were upstairs, my husband put her down for what seemed like a minute, and she pooped upstairs, right next to the bed. So I just picked it up in a poo bag, carried on talking to this guy that was telling us about the bed as if nothing had happened, and my husband picked her up and he was walking down the stairs crying into her fur, carrying her back down the stairs. I was so mortified.
So the salesman had no idea?
Yeah, he did. He looked at us in disgust.
Oh, he knew what had gone on
Yeah.
and how you casually dealt with it.
I just picked it up as if nothing had happened, because luckily it was pick-upable. And Mick picked the dog up and he just took her back down the stairs. And I could see his shoulders shaking up and down. He was literally crying into her fur. And then I just went, thank you for your help. And I went back downstairs and we were stood outside. We were laughing so much. It was hilarious.
What's your navigational nightmare story? Leo.
So basically, I was in the Lake District, and we literally ran out of power on the phone, and we didn't have any maps, unfortunately. So we decided to keep going straight along this along this really dark, narrow hill. My dad was driving, and I was just a passenger.
Yeah.
So he kept driving along, and kept going until we just saw a dead end, and then suddenly we just saw this one sheep at the end of the road. We thought, oh God, it's like 9 p.m. and there's just this one sheep just lying in the end of the road. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So we were just completely lost. And then for some reason, the sheep just kept going forwards. So we followed the sheep. We kept following the sheep along the road.
Because you had no other ideas. You thought we might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we had no other idea. So our only navigation is this wet, drowned sheep just following this road. So we thought, we may as well. Okay, let's go for it. So it was like 9:30 at night. It was pitch black. So we just kept going and going. So we followed this sheep going along the road, and then all of a sudden we just somehow made it to town by the sheep. We were just following the sheep for about a good 20 minutes, and somehow we made it.
You navigated by sheep.
Yeah, this one stray sheep, and then the farmer came along and said, "Oh, you found the sheep." Yeah,
Sheep nav.
You made us found the town.
Right, oh, had he lost the sheep?
Yeah, apparently he lost.
Oh, so everybody was a winner. The sheep
Yeah,
took you back to town. The farmer got his sheep back.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bonus for everyone. We couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's amazing. Now I know what it means when you buy a sat nav. It tells you how much RAM it's got.
This is Bob.
There's already videos at the moment doing the rounds on YouTube where people have been shown attacking clowns. People are dressed as clowns for the reason that people are just getting absolutely sick of it.
Yeah.
Now, there's different people who are setting up vigilante groups.
What, to get the
stop
clowns? Yeah. Some innocent clown one day is going to be on his way to a kid's party with a handful of balloon animals. and he's going to get attacked. They're going to think he's a scary clown when, what's that song? Shot to the heart, and you're to blame. You give clowns a bad name. I mean, really, that's what's gone on here.
It is.
And
absolutely.
people will be scared to dress as a clown.
Oh, completely. I mean, this is going to throw havoc into the kids' party industry, isn't it? And
yeah.
Village fetes and what have you. But yeah, there's a
because those clowns, if you do get vigilantes and they go to attack the clowns are not going to go very far in that car.
They're not. No.
You know what I mean? Once those doors have fallen off.
At the exhaust pipe.
That's right. They're just not going to be able to get away. This show starts at 6 and ends at 9. If it was a Great Northern train, it'd be scheduled to start at 6, but wouldn't get going till about 10 past. Wouldn't be finished till about 9:30, and you'd have to listen standing up. These scary clowns, they look just like regular clowns.
Oh, they do, yeah.
So how can you tell if the clown that you've booked is a scary clown?
Oh, you're talking about what? If you're booking them for a kid's party or something?
You book a clown.
Yeah.
How do you know? I suppose if his balloon animals are ribbed and lubricated, that might be a bit of a giveaway. When have you had to call 999? Mick?
We went to bed and my missus looked out the window and there's a couple of people sort of breaking into cars across the road.
Wow.
So she phoned 999 and the operator said we'll get someone down there because they know all about it anyway because there's been a spate of them around our area.
Yeah.
So Sharon just put the phone down, not thinking nothing of it, and all of a sudden we got another phone call and it was from the actual policeman who phoned her back again and says, can you be our eyes?
What?
It's about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So they come around the corner and these 3 people run off. And they sort of like hiding in the bins across the road, and the policeman was sort of saying to Sharon, so where are they now then? And she's going, one of them's in number 5 on the bin, by the bins, and one of them's hiding under one of the cars, and the cop just walked up, in pitch black, just went behind the bins and just caught him.
Oh, did he? Got him, collared him, brilliant.
The bloke's probably thinking, what's happening here? How did he know where we are?
Britain is all at sea. The British government has invited plans for a successor to the Royal Yacht Britannia.
Oh, yes. I saw this.
They think this is going to fix everything.
They think this is going to be good PR, don't they?
If you don't know, Britannia was an ocean-going ship that was used exclusively by the royal family and was retired in 1997 because it cost too much to run.
That's right, yes.
This is 100 Tory MPs, 1 in 3 of the parliamentary party, are backing a campaign for ministers to commission a panel to examine the case for a new ship. Incredible news considering the crisis the UK economy is in following the Brexit referendum. Britain hasn't even started the process of leaving the EU. But already our economy is in freefall because of it. The British pound is now a junk currency, trading at record lows. I called Luton Airport yesterday morning. You were getting 96 euro cents for a pound. The pound worth less than a euro. I'm going to call them a little bit later on to see how bad things are today. And some people think things are okay because the share market's going up. Well, the share market's going up because of the weak pound. Because our money isn't worth as much. To get the equivalent value in dollars or euros, the share market has to go up. The truth is it's not keeping pace. And if you convert what the shares are worth now to dollars or euros, you'll see that the share market's actually going down. This taking the share market going up and turning that into a positive just because the numbers have gone up, but in actual fact it's gone down if you measured it in dollars and euros. I mean, we're in a global economy, come on. It reminds me of the spin that radio stations use when their ratings show a big drop in market share. They'll often point to the increase in the average time spent listening has gone up by each listener. And of course, the average time spent listening always goes up when your market share goes down, because the first people you lose are your lighter users.
Of course,
the ones who don't listen as much, and you keep more of your loyal listeners. They're the ones that go last. So the average time spent listening goes up. That doesn't mean people are listening any longer. It just means fewer people are listening. It means you're in trouble. So it's all part of the spin cycle, and advertisers don't buy spin, they buy results. If radio advertising doesn't get results, they pull their advertising budgets and put the money somewhere else. And it's the same with the shares and the currency. If investors don't get a return on their investment, they move the money to other places. Britain is not a safe place to invest right now because of Brexit. Don't let anybody kid you. Brexit is bad for Britain, and no amount of spin is going to change that. And neither is building a new ship for an overprivileged family of parasites to have fun on. Instead of the royal yacht, we need to think about the good ship Brexit Britain, which hit an iceberg when 52% of the people who voted for us to leave the EU got their way. We haven't even started the process of leaving the EU yet. But already, the good ship Brexit Britain is taking on water. Britain is a sinking ship. If you can get out of Britain and move to another country, you should do it now before it's too late. There aren't enough lifeboats for everyone.
It's Bob.
Times you've had to call 999. Donna.
About 6-7 weeks ago, for my 12-year-old daughter, she had a freak accident on a horse and she fell off.
Goodness me.
But unfortunately, the horse sort of like stood on the side of her face and actually sort of like pulled a good proportion of her ear off.
Wow.
Also, we had to do a 999 call, and we had the ambulance turn up, but also we had the air ambulance involved as well.
Yeah.
They turned up. And also Prince William turned up as well, which was something we never expected.
He was the pilot of the air ambulance, was he?
He was, yeah.
Wow.
So that was all a little bit, yeah.
That's quite the day. Now, what's your daughter's name?
Holly.
And is Holly okay?
Yeah, she's absolutely fine. We went to Lister Hospital. I mean, absolutely fantastic there. And then she went into plastic surgery, and they sort of like reattached all the ear and that for her. And she's absolutely fine. She's back riding a horse and having lessons and loving her to bits. You know, I'm really proud of the fact that she's actually got back on the horse and that she does that now.
Oh,
but
good for
also
her.
for the fact that the ambulance services and everything else are absolutely fantastic. And the hospital are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Because she was in a state.
Yeah.
And I can't thank them enough, to be fair.
Now, Prince William gets a bit of stick. They're saying it's not a real job and he's not really doing much.
Oh, no, he got involved. He spoke to my daughter, helped with the spinal board and everything, and, put a blanket on. Yes, he did get involved. Obviously we didn't speak to him, but, he did get involved with my daughter.
Well, he's busy.
He's and everything.
Well, now, hey, Holly's got a story now. Prince William saved my life. That's a pretty good story, isn't it? Prince William saved my life.
It is a really good story, but the only one let down, like he always do, when she got to the hospital and everyone already knew that he'd been involved with it.
Yeah.
My daughter turned and she said, I don't really like Prince William. She said, I like Prince Harry better.
Well, there's no pleasing some people.
I know.
Donna, thanks for sharing.
Okay, thanks ever so much.
Bob's Breakfast.
Remember just the other day you were saying never trust the public to do anything, never trust them to name anything.
Boaty McBoatface, ring a bell?
Well, Boaty McBoatface is back in the news this morning.
Oh, really?
Albeit from a more sensible angle today. It will have its keel-laying ceremony this morning. That's the official recognition of its construction.
And they're not going to call it Boaty McBoatface either. They're going to call it Sir David Attenborough.
That's right, yeah. £200 million this boat is costing to create.
I know, but it's against democracy. When they made a mistake. They shouldn't have asked the people.
They should have given
idiots.
people a choice.
Give them a choice of three they could live with, and then do it that way.
Yeah.
Don't just say whichever gets the... They said that we'll have a vote for what to name this polar research vessel, and whatever's number one will be the name. So people voted for Boaty McBoatface. And then they went, oh no, you can't have that. It's going to be Sir David Attenborough. Well, that's against democracy. If you make the rules, you have to play by them.
Well, of course. It just showed a bit of bad humour on their part, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It did. It really did. It's a polar research vessel. These people
That's
who work
right.
at the northern and southern polar axes of the world, they think the world revolves around them. But anyway, the only way to fix this is if from now on we refer to the actual Sir David Attenborough as Boaty McBoatface. Bob's here, and Bob, you want to talk about these scary clowns?
I don't understand what the clown movement is all about. If they want to inspire fear in people, have the bad guys teenage kids in hoodies with a backpack.
Yes, that's
because
scary.
every other person you see is a teenage kid with a hoodie and a backpack.
Or a bloke in a suit, and he uses this scary phrase, "I'm not just a Jehovah's Witness, I sell insurance too." That would be scarier than clowns. I'm Graham Mack, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. If you are, make sure you share it on Facebook and Twitter, and you can subscribe at iTunes. Scary clowns. Why don't people just chase after them?
Well, this is what I can't work out. I was thinking, as I left the house in the dark this morning, what would happen if a clown was at the end of the driveway? And I've mentally prepared myself to chase after it.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be able to get very far, you know. Not in those big shoes.
It's breakfast on Bob.
Doctors who spend 30 seconds telling patients they need to lose weight can have a dramatic impact. Doctors are being told they shouldn't be scared of telling an obese person that they're obese.
I didn't realise doctors were scared of it. I thought that's what you want from the doctor, isn't it?
Well, you would have thought so. You would have thought if you'd gone in for an unassociated problem, the doctor might say, "Oh, have you checked about, I don't know, diabetes or something like that, type 2 diabetes, or and have you considered doing a bit of exercise?"
But the doctors aren't saying like, "Well, look, you're overweight. You know, that could cause some problems. I'm your doctor. This is not an insult."
Well, if anybody can bring this question up, it's got to be the doctor.
I don't understand why you can't. You know, if someone is tall, it is not out of order to say, "Geez, aren't you tall?" But if someone's fat, you're not allowed to say, "Geez, aren't you fat?"
No, you wouldn't dare, would you?
No, and I don't know why, because someone who's tall can't help being tall. And if someone's tall, it's kind of... I think it was Mark in our office that pointed this out. If someone is tall, it's perfectly okay to say, "Excuse me, I can't reach that. Could you grab that for me?"
That's right, yeah.
But you can't say to someone who's, shall we say, jolly, "Can you just sit on this for me for a minute because I don't want it to blow away?"
More creepy clown news this morning. A man who has taken it upon himself to chase off these clowns is on the prowl in Cumbria. But this man is dressed as Batman.
Oh, here we go. It's got worse now. It's all costumes now.
It is. Well, he's been spotted single-handedly trying to tackle these so-called killer clowns, which are on the streets of some of our towns.
Are they
across the
killer
country.
clowns, though, or are they just jumping out and scaring people?
Well, it's been nicknamed the killer clown craze because they've got scary expressions on their faces. But in the majority of cases, I think they're just trying to frighten people and jumping out on them.
Even if they pull a gun on you, there's nothing to worry about, because when they pull the trigger, all that happens is a little flag comes out that says bang.
Bob's Breakfast.